Hello friends, and welcome to yet another exhilarating video of Wisdom Zone. And this is Shubro, and I'm quite sure you have already guessed it from the thumbnail that today I have the 10th session on practice spoken English, and this video is for English speaking practice. And today I am going to discuss a crucial topic because I am going to give you some important tips to deliver a perfect presentation. So it's my earnest request to all the viewers, please watch this video carefully so that you can understand how to give a presentation confidently. Again, it is my request to all the viewers who haven't subscribed to this channel, please do not wait and immediately subscribe to Wisdom Zone and hit the bell icon to get the first notification of a new video. So without wasting any more time, let's get started.
3, 2, 1.
So friends, welcome back once again to the 10th session of practice spoken English, and this video is for English speaking practice. And today my topic is quite crucial because I am going to help you out to give a perfect presentation in English, and I'm going to share some important tips to deliver a perfect presentation. So let me also inform that I have given the links of the previous videos from 1 to 9 which are extremely useful in the description, so please do not forget to check those videos, and they are going to help you immensely to practice English speaking and develop your communication. So without further ado, let's get started with today's discussion. So friends, as I have promised, today I am going to give you some crucial tips to deliver a perfect presentation. So at first, let me tell you what I am going to do today. At first, as you see on your screen, today I'm going to show you things you should do before the presentation. Secondly, I'm also going to discuss things you should do during the presentation. And third important thing which I'm going to discuss is that things you should not do. Things you should not do during the presentation, and also while preparing the presentation, things you should not do. And at last, I'm also going to discuss some latest practice techniques so that you can deliver a perfect presentation in English. So without further ado, let's get started. So friends, as you see, the first important thing which I am going to discuss is on your screen. I'm going to focus on the first aspect, which is things you should do before the presentation. So before the presentation, the most important thing you have to focus on is 4 P's. Let me again clearly state, it's 4 P's. That means plan, prepare, practice and perform. So these 4 P's are extremely useful, so you have to focus on these 4 P's so that you can prepare a good presentation and perform also. So let me explain one by one. 4 P's, as I already explained, I have tried to break it up, and as I already mentioned, 4 P's: plan, prepare, practice and perform. So plan means to how you plan the presentation. You have to plan your presentation perfectly, because if you do not plan it, then I think you will not be able to prepare it also properly, right? The planning is the first stage of your presentation. So research about the topic, and if you are going to prepare a presentation on a topic on which you don't have that much of information, please prepare, please research, gather information, gather knowledge before you prepare the presentation. Get well versed with the topic, and if you know the topic also, you can research so that you can get more data, more details, right? So collect relevant data, as you see on your screen. Also, understanding the scope and aim of the topic is also quite crucial. You need to understand the scope and aim of the topic also, and you need to also understand the nature of audience who are going to listen to your presentation, and based on that also you have to customize your presentation. And this is, so all these should be considered in the planning stage of your presentation, which is the first stage, is quite crucial. Second important P is prepare. So after you plan, you collect relevant data, you understand the scope and the nature of audience, and you research about the topic. When you get all the information, then you prepare the presentation. You need to prepare a proper and a professional presentation. Ensure that whatever you're preparing is professional, and obviously you will give that presentation in front of a huge gathering perhaps, or in front of public. So you have to make it look professional also. So yes, as I already mentioned, if you have collected relevant data, try to use the relevant data. Use infographics, very important. Use of infographic. Okay, that infographic means information plus graph. it can be diagram, it can be bar chart. So that's called infographics. So use infographic effectively, so that you can convince people, because they get convinced if you use infographics. It's crucial to use infographics. Try to use infographics more and more. That means you can use information, some text with combined with graphs, data, along with pictures, images. So that's called infographics, combination of text and pictures and images and or graphs. So after that, you make proper PPT, that is PowerPoint presentation. Ensure that everything which you prepare is readable, and focus on the font size, color, the background of the presentation. If it's a PPT presentation, ensure that it is readable, it is visible, and obviously the font should be quite large and clear, and also the color which you are using should not create any problem for the audience, right? So you have to focus on the font size, color also of the text and the background. All these things are important in preparation. So that's the second P. And the third important P is practice. It's quite essential, and you need to rehearse. And the third important P is practice. It's quite essential, and you need to rehearse. You need to rehearse again and again before the presentation to gain confidence. So let me tell you, I am going to give you some tips at last. I have a separate category where I'll discuss some latest practice techniques. You don't have to worry about that. I'll just come to this aspect later on. So you need to rehearse, and let me tell you, it's quite essential, which is the third P. And how you will do that, how you will rehearse, how you will practice to gain confidence, that I will discuss at last. So don't worry about that. And the last P is perform. If you follow the previous three P's, then obviously you can perform confidently. So plan your presentation, prepare your presentation, collect data, use infographics, then practice, and then you'll be ready to perform. So follow these four P's, or you should focus on these four P's, and these things you should do before the presentation. So I'm quite sure it's crystal clear what I have discussed. I'm quite sure it's clear what exactly is four P's: plan, prepare, practice, and perform. Up next, I'm going to focus on the second category, things you should do during the presentation, which is quite imperative. I think that's the most important thing, isn't that? It matters when you are giving the presentation. You need to deliver it in the right time, isn't that, in the right way? So on the day of presentation, you have to ensure that you do the right thing. So today again, I'm going to discuss the second thing, as you see, things you should do during the presentation. So the first important thing which you have to ensure that you need to be relaxed and confident, as you see on your screen. Because if you are not relaxed, if you are not confident, then obviously it's going to affect your performance. Understood? So ensure that you go in a relaxed state of mind and be confident and present in a confident manner. And do not get tense, do not show that you are low in confidence. So that can also create a bad impression, isn't that? So ensure that you are relaxed and be confident. So the second important point is related to your dress, that is put on formal attire. So you must be wondering that how does it matter, but let me tell you, in a professional presentation it matters a lot. So you have to put on a formal attire. And obviously you know what is a formal attire. I'm quite sure, a formal dress. Do not wear casual wear like jeans, t-shirt and go. Wear formal outfit. You can use formal attire, suit, obviously that's going to be good. And if you are not having, you can use a full sleeve shirt and formal trousers you can wear. And also you can use a necktie. You can put on a necktie, and that's more or less a formal attire. But do not wear something which looks awkward and casual, because say if your impression is casual, the audience will also take you casually, so you will not be able to create a good impression. So ensure that you dress up formally, and you need to put on a formal attire. So up next, I am going to discuss about third important tip which you see, that is body language, which is quite essential, isn't that? So body language and kinesics, and I think these two things are very important, body language and kinesics. You must be somehow wondering what exactly kinesics is. Kinesics is similar to body language. It means obviously the way your body movements and your posture convey a message, the gestures. It's a part of non-verbal communication. It's called kinesics. So you have to focus on your non-verbal communication, your body movements, your gestures, okay, and the posture. So let me give you some tips over here. So especially when you are standing, ensure that you stand up straight, stand up straight, stand erect, do not bend, okay, do not slouch, and always try to have a straight posture, okay. And don't move your legs while standing, or if you're giving a presentation, don't move your legs unnecessarily, so that would show that you are having some kind of issue, maybe you're nervous or you're not professional. So ensure that you stand straight, stand erect, do not move your legs or shoulders unnecessarily, carry yourself in a positive manner and carry a positive body language. So that's quite important, isn't that? I'll come to other important things related to that. So up next, number 4 point is start confidently. So opening is very important because your opening sets the tone of your presentation. So start confidently, do not stammer, okay, and do not make it clumsy. So let me give you an example how to start. As you see, you can start like this way. Good afternoon friends, my name is Sam Walter. Today I'm going to discuss a topic of great importance. Then you can mention the topic, which is globalization, or which is time management. Understood? So like this way you have to present the topic, use some good adjectives, right? You can use great importance, okay, you can use some other adjectives also over here. Instead of great, you can use crucial also. It's a crucial topic. You can use some strong adjectives when you start. Am I clear? So that the people will realize the importance of the topic, right? But do not start like this. Hello friends, today I'm going to tell you about time management. So do not be so clumsy and I think low in confidence. Try to pitch up, try to speak loudly and show the confidence using the right type of vocabulary and modulation. You have to start. So I'm quite sure it's clear, because as they say, first impression is your last impression. So ensure that you create a good impression at first when you're starting. So up next, I'll discuss the fifth important tip which you see on your screen. Speak clearly, loudly, and try to be audible. So do not speak in such a manner that people are facing problem understanding you, because you may be asked to give a presentation in front of a huge gathering, or giving a presentation in a big conference room or a big hall. So there you have to ensure that you are distinctively audible. So speak loudly, focus on the clarity, speak clearly also, so that whatever you say, each and every word should be distinctively audible to each and every individual present in that particular room, and every person should get what you're saying. Focus on that. Do not speak in such a manner that others are not getting, right? You have to speak loudly, be loud. Understood? So up next, let's see the next important tip. Try to maintain an eye contact. Okay, if you do not maintain an eye contact, then it may convey a wrong message. They may think that you are not confident. So try to always maintain an eye contact. It is also a part of body language, but I have put it here separately because I think it should be discussed separately, because sometimes we do not realize the importance of it. Because if you maintain an eye contact, then people will also understand that you are confident and you are ready, and you will be able to connect with the audience. And if you are not maintaining an eye contact, then people will think that you are nervous, you're tentative. So it gives a wrong message, isn't that? So try to maintain an eye contact, but that does not mean that you have to stare at the audience always, right? Try to maintain a decent eye contact. If you are giving a presentation in a small conference room, you'll be able to see the people, right? So do not look here and there. Try to look at them, look at the people, and try to look at their eyes, right? That is very important. So don't look up and down. That gives a wrong impression. Understood? So try to maintain an eye contact means to try to ensure that you are trying to maintain a decent eye contact. You're trying to face the audience. You are trying to communicate to the audience by looking at them, not by looking at the other things. Understood? So that's going to help immensely, and also you'll be able to connect with the audience. Up next, I'm going to discuss the seventh important point, that is engage the audience. So it's important to engage the audience, because if the audience is not engaged, then it's going to be difficult for you to give a successful presentation. So try to build up a rapport. In between, you can ask some questions, crack some small jokes, but yeah, you have to strike a balance. Okay, ensure that it is not totally unprofessional stuff, but yes, in between you can crack some small jokes if you think that audience is becoming a bit bored. So use some small jokes, ask some questions, and try to keep them engaged with our presentation. That's going to help. And after that, the important thing is that try to be optimistic, and you have to be optimistic, as I already mentioned. So although it's the 8th point, but that does not mean that you have to be optimistic at last, but you have to be optimistic right from the beginning, okay, as I already mentioned. So be optimistic, do not show any negativity while speaking or giving the presentation. And the last important point is the 9th important tip, which you see, that is close confidently and positively, which is imperative. So sometimes we see that people do well up to the 8th point, but while closing the presentation, they mess it up. So it is my earnest request, please don't mess it up. Please don't mess up the closing, because closing is equally important as the opening, right? So let me show you how to close. As you see, I have given an example. Thanks for sharing your valuable time and listening to me patiently. It's been a pleasure for me to discuss such a vital topic. And if you have any further queries, feel free to ask me. So like this way you can close, it will create a good impression, understood? Rather than saying thank you for paying attention and the presentation is over. So don't close like this way, okay? And some people even suddenly close and the people do not realize also the presentation is over. So do not do that. Close the presentation so that the people can understand now the presentation is over, and also keep the session open so that if they are interested, they can ask you some question. By that way you can connect with them also, right? So that is very important. So try this closing and try to be confident and positive while closing also. Don't suddenly close just saying 1 or 2 words, thanks and I am done. So don't do this. Am I clear? So I'm quite sure it's clear what are the things you should do during the presentation while giving the presentation. Follow these important tips and I'm quite sure you'll be able to deliver a good presentation. So up next I am also going to discuss things you should not do during the presentation as well as while preparing also. So the first important point, as you see, don't use or discuss unrealistic facts. So while giving the presentation, don't discuss unrealistic facts. Also while preparing the presentation, don't include unrealistic facts or data, figures, or do not use complicated jargon. Okay, jargon means some difficult words that people may not understand. So do not use complicated jargons. So exclude all these things, make the presentation realistic and simple. Okay, and next important thing which you should focus is that, and you should not do, is that don't make your PPT, that is PowerPoint presentation, too lengthy. If you have to making a PowerPoint presentation, don't make it too lengthy. It is kind of a habit. Sometimes people make a lengthy presentation and by that way they mess it up. So do not make lengthy presentations. Use short presentations and focus on the content. Use infographics, as already mentioned, data. Don't use long paragraphs having text. So that's going to create a kind of bad, it will make the audience feel bored, right? So do not do that. Don't use long paragraphs and full of text that they have to read or you have to read. So that's going to be totally boring. So use images, figures and data. You can use graphs, okay, bar charts to demonstrate smartly. Okay, presentation is all about smart communication, not a reading class or a history class. Am I clear? So let's see the third important thing which you should not do, that is don't discuss anything not related to the topic, which I already mentioned, or irrelevant thing. Don't suddenly start discussing about something which is not directly related to the topic or something irrelevant. Try to skip that. Okay, and the most important thing is that don't be nervous, anxious or pessimistic. Don't show that you are having a negative attitude. Don't be negative, don't become nervous, don't show your anxiousness while speaking. Try to carry yourself in an optimistic way and show your confidence. That's going to help you immensely. And another important thing you should not do is that don't stammer while speaking. Do not stammer. And it is a common habit. Sometimes people get so scared or they get nervous, they start stammering, which is going to affect your presentation, is going to create a very bad impression. So you don't have to go very fast. The reason why people stammer, let me tell you clearly, the reason behind is that they sometimes become so anxious or nervous, they try to go fast, and while doing that they start stammering. So do not go fast, do not get nervous, just relax and go step by step, and if you have prepared and practiced, you won't face any problem. So do not stammer, go step by step and give your presentation. Okay. And next important thing is that don't be clumsy. As I already mentioned, carry yourself in a positive manner, dress yourself properly, put on formal attire. Okay, focus on the posture and also other aspects of kinesics and body language, and be always optimistic. So I'm quite sure it's clear what are the things you should not do while giving a presentation or while preparing also. So at last, as I have promised, I am also going to give you latest practice techniques which you can try to deliver a perfect presentation in English. So let me tell you how you can practice. So the first important suggestion is that you can practice standing in front of the mirror, which is a very interesting technique, and it is used by people who are in acting profession, people who are yes, stage performers use this technique extensively, right? So you must have seen people who are stage performers who are working in drama, they practice in front of mirror. So you can also stand in front of the mirror and see your own image. That's going to give you some sort of confidence, and then you can speak, because you will be able to see how you're opening your mouth, how you're speaking. You can also focus on the eye contact, eye movements also. So it's a wonderful way to practice. So try this out and comment below. And the second option we have is you can record your speech, you can record your conversation, or you can record a video, and that is also another way to practice recording your audio or recording video, and that's the way you can practice, and also later on you can play that, okay, and see where you are making mistakes. And the third important way to do it is that you can give some demo presentations in front of your friends, family, or you can have call some gatherings. Okay, you can try and give some demo presentation and you become habitual. So it is very important technique. You can try that also. If you don't have any friends, you can try it with your family members, or if your family members are not comfortable, you can ask your friends or colleagues, or you can gather some people and give a demo presentation before the final presentation. That's going to help you immensely. So try this out and comment below. And at last, important thing, it is a in general suggestion that you have to try and rehearse public speaking more and more. Always take that opportunity to speak in front of the public. Don't be shy of public speaking. Understood? It should be done in your daily life. Okay, regularly you have to do it. It's not that for a specific presentation. You have to try and rehearse public speaking. Do not get scared. Do not become nervous. Just speak in front of the public. Take whatever opportunity you get and speak in front of the common people. It can be any small issues also. You can address all this, and you can develop this habit, and that's going to help you immensely to overcome stage fright. I am also going to make a separate video on stage fright, so don't worry about that. But you can use this technique. You can rehearse and follow all the points which I have already mentioned. All these 4 points are going to help you out to overcome stage fear also, and I'll make a separate video for that. Don't worry about it. So I'm quite sure you have found this video extremely helpful, because I have covered most of the things, and if you follow these tips, obviously you will be able to deliver a perfect presentation in English, which is going to be imperative. And let me tell you one more thing, that I have already made a video on presentation skills, become a champion in public speaking. So there also I have given some valuable suggestions and tips. So that video is already there, and the link is given in the description. If you want some more information, you will find some more information from there also. Do not forget to check that video. The link is given in the description. So it is my earnest request to all the viewers, please watch this video and practice more and more, and comment below. And again, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do not wait, immediately subscribe to Wisdom Zone and hit the bell icon to get the first notification of this type of informative video. So stay tuned for further informative videos, and do not forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to Wisdom Zone.